Hey guys, it's Sinem and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So today, can you see my skin? I'm not going to give it away, but we are going to be testing the brand new Huda Beauty products. We have the Glowish Multidew Skin Tint, which is this one right here. And then we have the Soft Radiant Bronzer, which is this one. But we are going to dabble into everything today on these products. So yeah, I'm going to give you guys a full demo, review, my honest opinion. And without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So jumping right into it, we are going to be testing the brand new Glowish line from Huda Beauty. So I do have two items right here, and I do have the Multidew Skin Tint, which we're going to be trying, and then also the Soft Radiance, the Glowish Soft Radiance bronzing powder. I'm going to start off with the skin tint. Now let's go into this. This is what it looks like. Really like the simple packaging of it. This says you can wear it alone for an all over healthy glow, or you can apply it on top of foundation to boost the luminosity. So I'm going to use it on its own. Dewy, glowy, healthy looking skin, and it's also fragrance free. This skin tint retails for £32 in the UK and $37 in the US. It also has 40 ml of product, or 1.35 fluid ounce. So I did get mine in the shade 01 Fair, and that is the lightest one. And this one is described for fair skin tones with a neutral undertone. I did actually see the colors in store because I picked it up in store, and Fair Light, which is the second shade, is a little bit too orangey. So bear that in mind. It's a little dark. So if you're fair like me, go for Fair, because I was going to go for Fair Light, but once I saw it, it was way too kind of dark and orangey. Essentially, this is a skin tint, and what that means is it's going to give you a little bit of a tint. It's supposed to be sheer, and it is going to give you a very glowy finish, almost like a illuminator, like a liquid highlighter mixed in with a little bit of a skin tint. So you can see straight away it's giving off like this liquid highlighter type of look, and I absolutely love that there isn't much color to it. So I feel like it's going to be good for a range of fair skin tones because there isn't any pink in it, there isn't any yellow in it. It's just a very neutral toned product. I'm going to do one side with my fingers and one side with a brush. I don't know how much to put. I am just going to start blending. Oh wow. Okay, it has a lot of color actually. Feels so moisturizing. It almost feels like a really thick moisturizer, or like a, yeah, it just feels like a moisturizer. Honestly, does not feel like foundation. It's not liquidy. So this, first impressions, loving the glow and the formula and the finish. I think it definitely evened out my skin tone just slightly, added a little bit of a glow. I cannot get over this radiance right here. This is beautiful. I will say as well, she does say that this blurs the pores, it smooths out the skin, and it just enhances the skin. So I will say, first impressions, it definitely is kind of blurring and smoothing. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Because it has some color, it almost gave me like a little bit of a contour as well. Am I going crazy? Like it has a little bit of a, look, it has some color. So I really like that first impressions. It's very glowy, but it's not sticky. It dries down really nicely. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and try that with a brush. Maybe we'll get more of that tint with a brush. Okay, honestly, I feel like it gives you more coverage, but it almost takes away that glow. Does that make sense? This side is with my fingers blended in. This side is with the foundation brush. But I will say it definitely gives, look at that, more coverage. It gives me a skin tint. It gives me, you know, a really nice finish. It's still got that radiant glow. Maybe not as glowy as this, but can you see right here? You can see my skin peeking through, whereas this side is covered a little bit more. So I really like it with a brush. I like it both ways, to be honest, but I do like it with a brush because I can see it almost looks more like a foundation now, where it's actually covered and evened out my skin, whereas this is, you know, peeking through a little more. Let me know what side you guys prefer and what side would you wear yourself. So I'm gonna just top it off a tiny bit more, maybe just right here. I think this is a beautiful beautiful product. The formula I cannot get over, and it's honestly something that I haven't tested out before in the makeup industry. I don't think I've tested a product like this out, which gives you a little bit, look at that. Wow. So I'm just like shocked. Gives me a really smooth, glowy, blurred appearance with some color. That is incredible and feels nourishing, feels super moisturizing. Like, it really feels like skincare on the skin. And you guys know I'm always honest. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you. And this, maybe apart from the shade, I do feel like there's a little bit of oranginess in there. I just cannot stop looking at my skin, and it looks glowy, but in a really nice way. It doesn't look overly glowy. Does that make sense? I mean, it is very dewy, but I feel like with concealer, a little bit of powder in certain places, you can just keep a little bit of that shine right here and then just powder other areas, and I think it will look beautiful. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now that I added a little bit of concealer and powder, I love the way my skin looks. Let me know what you guys think. Really flawless, nourishing, glowy. Everything they say, like the claims and stuff, I really think, you know, they're spot on with that. I don't think there's anything that I can see that I can complain about just yet. You know, of course I'll have to test it out a little bit more. But now we're going to go into the Glowish Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. And this is basically a bronzer, but it is, you know, again, a glowy bronzer. So it is going to have a little bit of a pearlescent finish. It's not going to be a matte bronzer. It's going to give you a glow. And again, I love like shimmery bronzers, not glittery, but you know, pearlescent bronzers I'm all for. So I do feel like I'm going to like this. And this one is in 01 Light. This is the packaging, very similar to their Tantor cream bronzer, and this one retails for £27 in the UK and $31 in the US. Bronzer is described as a peach toned bronzer for fair to light skin tones. So this one again is the lightest one, and it's called 01 Light. Looks beautiful. It's a marbled swirled bronzer, and I'm just gonna do a swatch and see. Wow, that's actually kind of dark. A little orangey, a little too dark for fair skin tones. I get that she's trying to make everything versatile, but let's just blend it out. I think if you use a light hand, then it can definitely work. So that is the lightest one, and it definitely blends out really seamlessly. So let's just go ahead and apply it. Just gonna take a small amount because I don't know what to expect, and I'm gonna stamp first because I didn't set this area with a powder. First impressions, it's a beautiful bronzer, like formula wise. It's definitely not looking patchy, even though I'm putting it on top of a kind of cream liquid. It's not going patchy, which a lot of my bronzers tend to go patchy. So it's, you know, buffing in really nicely, it's blending in really nicely. But I will say it's just a little too orange for me, I feel like. I wish she made this one just a little bit cooler. Like, look, that's a little orangey, but nonetheless, I think this is going to be beautiful on top of any foundation. It's just going to give you a very soft radiance finish, exactly like what the name suggests, because it doesn't have any glitter. So don't be alarmed, there's no glitter in this product. It's just more of a sheen, so it's going to just give you that subtle luminosity through your bronzer. So maybe if you don't want to go with these two products because it's too glowy for you, you could go in with a matte foundation, but then just use a radiant bronzer to add a little bit of that glow without it being too glowy, if that makes sense. This is just a great bronzer, I feel like, for every day anyway. Really light. You can build it up, and yeah, it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It doesn't look heavy, and this is the shade for fair skin tones, 01 Light. Let me know what you guys think. I think once you do the rest of your makeup, it will all come together. Definitely more sheer, but I mean, paired with the Glowish skin tint, like, it's so bronzy and glowy and beautiful. This will be the summer go-to for me, and I feel like for everyone else as well. If you do get to try these products, this is going to be like the summer go-to because it just gives you that skin tint, which is so in trend right now. It's going to give you the glow, the nourishing benefits, you know, the moisturizing aspect, and then a little bit of just that warm bronzer that's just going to warm up the complexion, but it doesn't look heavy, because I hate when bronzers are really powdery or too pigmented or too heavy looking and then it looks too full on. Whereas this, I feel like, of course I can go less with it or more, but I feel like I can really control it, and it's still just going to keep that sheer luminous wash of bronze on the skin. Just warms up the complexion nicely. So I think I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get carried away and go too heavy. I'll just do a little close-up now. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know which side you prefer, with the foundation brush or without, and what you think about the bronzer as well. Just pulling my hair back, you guys can see, look at this. So beautiful. Oh my god. So leave me all your final thoughts down below, and I hope this video was enjoyable and helpful for you. I will say, final thoughts, I absolutely love the Glowish skin tint, the multi-dew skin tint. I feel like you can pass on the bronzer because at the end of the day, it is a radiant bronzer which you can find pretty much anywhere. Of course, if you want to buy the two, if you're a fan of Huda Beauty as well, then definitely go for it. I think the combo is going to give you beautiful looking skin, radiant skin. But if I, were to just recommend one thing in this video out of the two, get the skin tint. I promise you, you will love it. I did not expect much out of it. I honestly thought it was just going to be like a liquid illuminator with barely any tint to it. And I thought it was going to be glittery. I thought it was just going to look, I don't know why I expected, I guess. I just didn't have high hopes for it, if I'm honest. And it really came through. I feel like my skin just looks beautiful. This isn't even foundation. This is just the skin tint with a little bit of concealer and bronzer. And I didn't even powder my entire face. I just powdered right here. And I cannot with my skin. Okay, the bronzer's a little too orange. But if I wasn't going to use the bronzer, just the skin tint and then like my regular products that I'm used to and my other bronzers that I like, just gives me a beautiful glow. Like, look at my nose, little glow there. Definitely highly recommend. You guys can just see anyway, like this is proof that it looks flawless and amazing. It's exactly how she promoted it and described it. I absolutely love it. And the bronzer, yeah, bronzer's nice. It's just the color that's a little off for me. But formula wise, it's great. It's sheer, it's buildable, gives you a soft radiant finish, exactly what they say again. But I like that it, it feels lightweight on the skin and doesn't look too heavy or too much. So I hope this video was enjoyable and helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, leave me all your thoughts down below. And until next time, I'll speak to you guys all in my next video.